Ja, Ladies and Gentlemen, hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge meines Let's Plays von Vampyr. Danke, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt. Ich möchte gern mal diese Selma-Mission endlich mal machen. Weil muss ich mal rausfinden, wer sie ausspioniert. Dafür müssen wir hier raus. Welcher Arzt bist du denn?
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Ach, der.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Nee, ich glaube nicht.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Das Ding ist, ich muss mit so vielen unterschiedlichen Leuten reden, um wieder Hinweise freizuschalten und sowas. Das ist schon ein bisschen anstrengend. Es muss irgendwo dahinter sein. In dem Haus da. Hä? Ich bin gerade ein bisschen verwirrt. Ah, hier ist eine Eingang. Nee, wenn, dann müssen wir in die Etage höher gehen. Finde heraus, was sind die... Komm her. Ne? Gefällt dir das? Komm her. Kann das noch besser. Aua! Okay, ich bin komplett aufgeheilt. Jetzt bin ich nicht mehr aufgeheilt. Aua! Komm auf mit der Scheiße. So. So klappt das doch ganz gut. Da liegt auch der Brief, den wir gleich lesen müssen, aber vorher möchte ich noch ein bisschen plündern. Okay, dann lesen wir mal den Brief. Der Befehlsstand der Wache vom Briefen betrifft Vampyr Krankenhaus erkunden, untersuchen. Vor 3 Tagen hat einer unserer neuen Rekruten ein Gerücht über eine Vampirin vernommen, die sich vor Vampyr Hospital London sich verstecken soll. Wir kennen nur ihr Vor- und Namen Selma. Wir haben die Aufgabe, euch unauffällig... Ihr habt die Aufgabe, Entschuldigung, alle verdächtigen Aktivitäten bezüglich vorgenannter Blutsubstanz zu beobachten an. Wir werden dann entscheiden, was zu tun ist. Okay. Finde den Ort... Da. Das kriegen wir hin. Müssen wir irgendwie darüber. Wir müssen dann da oben drin sein. Ah. Aber, Alter, macht er mir viel Schaden. Oh, der ist Level 18. Okay, das erklärt einiges. Oh, die sind alle über meinem Level. Ich sollte das lassen. Wer kommt der denn noch her? Ich bin wieder weg. Okay. Die sind alle dezent über meinem Level. Oh. Dann spreche ich lieber mit dem Doc und dann gehe ich mal ein bisschen schlafen.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Level 12 und Level 18 ist wahrscheinlich ein bisschen hoch für
Is
mich.
it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
Das kriegt man
Her
hin.
ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Kann ich noch
Do
irgendwas?
you need something, Jonathan?
Ich habe Fragen.
I have just a few questions.
Wir haben ja mittlerweile so viel erfahren,
Then ask
vielleicht.
away. I'm at your...
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
But to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Alter, was sind das für Geräusche im Hintergrund?
Expert on vampires. What could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burn me.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality.
Ich hab's aber schon geschafft.
The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged. But it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
Okay.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Okay. Ich glaube, das war
We'll see
alles.
each other again soon, Edgar.
Aber wir müssen mit den Leuten ja sprechen, weil wir dadurch Hinweise auf andere Sachen kriegen. So, wer das lesen will, der muss einfach mal Pause machen. Ich möchte mit meiner starken Beziehung Dr. Stickler im Fall von komplett verheilen. Okay, diese Rückkante. Vielleicht muss ich doch mal die Sachen lesen. Wo war denn das? Oh, guck mal, hier haben wir schon fast alle aufgedeckt. Einer ist tot. Drei fehlen da unten noch. Okay. Natriumchlorid. Wird aber nicht NaClO geschrieben, es wird einfach nur NaCl geschrieben. Ist egal. Ah scheiße, ich wollte mich ja hinlegen. Mein Stamina mal ein bisschen aufpäppeln. Die ist draußen. Ah! Ah!
The patients are not.
So, wo ist er? Da ist er. So, Mädel, was geht mit dir?
Took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough.
Ja, glaube ich nicht.
Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Hallo.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Ach, das ist die...
You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Necessary evil.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Ich glaube, ich weiß, was ich...
Ich
glaube, jetzt weiß es. Ich glaube, es ist die Mutter mit dem Sohn da.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Hey!
Excuse my impertinence, Your Ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition, with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay. Sprich mit Harriet im Krankenhaus. Wer bist du denn?
Good evening, Nurse Brennan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Ach, das ist die... Okay. Die Musik ist cool.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect. What? What is this? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Wir versuchen es mal erst auf die nette Art.
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman.
Wer bedroht
You
denn
know
dich?
how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Ich weiß.
Jones. Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut.
Oh.
I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on.
Sicher.
See you on the next round.
Oh Gott.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation. Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed.
Ach, den kennen wir doch.
Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Das
We'll
wir
talk
quatschen mal ein
again
andermal mit denen. Das ist er. Ich muss die 3 Schwestern finden. Ach ne, da ist eine Tür raus. Ach, schon wieder dieses Scheißzimmer. Fick dich doch. Das ist ein Arzt. Hä? Das ist ein Arzt. Ach, da steht sie doch.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has
Ach, das ist doch die
position in this hospital.
Betten verkauft.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The fluid...
You must get a hold of it.
Sorry.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu...
I wish I could believe you. But what...
Ja, ja, bla bla bla.
How long have you...
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is...
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins.
Was macht sie da hinten
In
eigentlich?
medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Das sind wir Krankenwagenfahrer immer.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Milton Hooks.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones.
Yep.
Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her.
Who says I don't care for her?
What can you tell me about...
Let me guess.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Okay, sie ist Schwester. Die ist 30 Meter da. Ist der Arzt? Da ist er. Danke. Das habe ich
Good
gehört.
evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening,
Die
Doctor.
kriegt wahrscheinlich den Männerbesuch.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting.
Most of them.
It would be inappropriate.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients.
Okay. Also wenn ich die mal irgendwann anfange, alle
Look around
auszusaugen.
you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
Do you require medical assistance, Nurse?
Thank you for...
Entschuldigung, ich habe
Goodbye, Nurse.
ich habe
Call me if you need
ich habe aus dem falschen Knopf gedrückt.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just
Ich muss auch sagen, ich bin ein bisschen müde, ey.
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett's is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett's must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Okay. Hinweis fehlgeschlagen.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
So.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
40 Meter nach unten. Ich will nur den Schrank hier noch plündern. Sie da unten. Hä? Lauschen, drücke um deine, wenn der Bürger verdächtig wird. Da. Wie kann ich jetzt beobachten? Wie kann ich... Oh,
You're sure you don't come back with me?
das habe ich gar nicht gesehen.
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't
Kann die
like
sich nicht mal
hospitals
waschen?
or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Gut, meine Lieben, ich würde aber sagen, wir machen an der Stelle Feierabend. Sind schon wieder 33 Minuten um. Wisst ihr was? Wir gehen mal... Wir können nicht zurück, oder? Doch. Wir gehen mal kurz rein und gehen mal schlafen. Ich muss nämlich auch im wirklichen Leben dringend schlafen. Ich bin nämlich echt gerade müde. Mir fallen diese zwischendurch immer wieder die Augen zu. Deswegen bin ich auch ein bisschen ruhiger. Opium. Opium ist immer gut.
I met him in New York.
If only there were more of us.
Opium ist immer gut. Ich glaube, die Kisten füllen sich regelmäßig hier nach. Das finde ich gut. So, wie gesagt, ich lege mich mal oben hin. Wir haben ja auch 2600 EP, die wir anwenden können. Vielleicht können wir mal ein bisschen was in Stamina rein investieren. Außerdem speichert es dann an der Stelle. Ich finde die Musik im Hintergrund sehr geil. Diese entspannte Geigen und Cello-Gespiele. So, defensiv. Passive Fähigkeiten. das nehmen wir mal mit. Taktisch. Okay. Hier haben wir noch 825. Ich glaube, das werde ich mal noch ins Leben investieren, genau. Level 9 sind wir schon jetzt. Ja, wie gesagt, meine Lieben, wir machen jetzt hier Feierabend. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, die folgende Nacht. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, schreibt es in die Kommentare, gebt mir einen Daumen nach oben. Ich gehe mal Pause machen. Ansonsten vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Bis morgen. Ciao.